This is day number 4 of the Amazon Q4 Income Accelerator workshop. We're going to be talking about how to overcome the roadblocks that are stopping you from finding success in selling on Amazon. We're going to talk about 3 main roadblocks that almost every Amazon seller comes across and experiences, and what you can do now to completely remove this roadblock or minimize its effects so that it just turns into a meaningless speed bump. Just where you got to slow down, go over the speed bump, and then pedal to the metal, move forward. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Rebecca's going to hang out in the chat, answer questions, also say some questions for later. And so those we're going to be talking about 3 main roadblocks, but I want you to put in the chat too. What is a big roadblock for you that you're experiencing right now that's causing you to not find the success that you are looking for? What's something that has been frustrating for you in your Amazon business that is a roadblock and you're like, I can't do anything, or I don't know what I can do? We're going to try to help you with a lot of them tonight. So if you have questions, put them in the questions tab, put them in the chat. We'll answer questions when the presentation is over. We have a big announcement later in this presentation that we're going to share with you, so be sure you stick around to the end. If you can't stick around to the end, we do have limited time replays. If you go to fulltimefba.com/replays, you can gain access to the replays so that you have a chance to rewatch it if you need something to hear again, or if you had to go to the bathroom, or if you had to take, step aside, or if you're not here tonight, you're not here. We won't talk about you behind your back, but you can definitely watch the replays for a limited time. fulltimefba.com/replays. So thank you, Rebecca, for helping us out in the chat and having those questions for us for later.
Yep, as always. And this is a really good Q&A on this session tonight, because this is something that a lot of people run into, are these roadblocks that, they can kind of help you get you feeling stuck and not able to move forward in your business. And so bring those questions to us. I'll be organizing them as always, and we'll have them ready for Stephen at the end of the session.
All right. So I want to remind everybody that this workshop has a companion workbook. If you go to fulltimefba.com/Q4 workbook, you can download there's just a few pages in this workbook. You can download it, print it out, fill in the blanks as we go. Now today, previous sessions, we've had actual word for word blanks to fill in. But on today's session, it's just roadblock and what to do to turn it into a speed bump. Roadblock number 2, what to do to turn it into a speed bump. Roadblock number 3, and what to do to turn it into a speed bump. And then there's other rooms for things that you can write down, your key takeaways, the next action steps that you want to be sure that you do. But take notes. You're going to remember a lot more and actually take a lot more action if you do the process of just writing it down. There's something that goes on in your brain when you take the things that you're hearing from your ears, process it through your brain, write it out, pen and paper, pencil paper, whatever kind of writing utensil that you use, and actually write it down. It cements that information so much more in your brain to help you grow and take whatever next step that you need to in your Amazon business. And so again, fulltimefba.com/Q4 workshop to write this down and walk through. And then also you can use the workshop the other pages from previous sessions to write notes from previous sessions that you're watching on the replays. And for tomorrow's session, we've got a really awesome session for you tomorrow night, and we'll share a little bit more about that later on this evening. So I do want to let you know that whatever roadblock you are experiencing, 99.9% of them can be overcome. Some of them can be easily and quickly overcome. Some of them might take a little bit of time to overcome these roadblocks. But eventually, these are roadblocks that will soon just turn into little speed bumps that you just kind of have to deal with and get past and move forward with your Amazon business. So again, in the chat, put whatever roadblock you're experiencing, and maybe that will be one of the ones that we talk about. If not, we can make sure that we can address it either during Q&A or possibly even tomorrow. Pardon me. Rebecca and I got out this morning. Why am I pointing over here? It's over here. We voted. We did our civic duty. Be sure you do the same thing and vote. Very important election, and your vote is important. And so get out there and vote. Okay, let's jump into this. Roadblock number one. This is the number one roadblock that I've already seen in the chat, that I get people emailing me from time to time. The roadblock of handling and dealing with the frustrations of not being allowed to sell an item on Amazon. It could be a product restriction. It could be a brand restriction. And this is so annoying, you find a profitable item. You're like, oh my goodness, if I sell this, I can make this amount of profit. And you get excited, but then you see the warning either on the Amazon seller app or on your computer or on the Spotify seller app. And it says that the product is restricted. You are not allowed to sell this item. And that's a huge frustration. Now, there's multiple ways that you could become approved to sell this item, and you should try all of these ways to try to get approved. The first one is just apply. You might be restricted right now, but simply do whatever you need to do to follow through. Like the Amazon seller app, you can go in and try to apply there. And Scoutify, you can go through and click a few buttons to get to Seller Central where you can apply there. Or if you're on your computer, you can click a few buttons and get to the Seller Central page to apply to sell that particular ASIN or brand. And sometimes basically every brand is different in the parameters that they set up with Amazon of what they allow their Amazon sellers, if they're approved or not. Like they need to have a certain amount of time selling on Amazon. Maybe it's 3 months, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year, maybe it's 10 years. I don't know. We don't know this information. But if the brand has set up that they only allow Amazon sellers who have 6 months of experience selling on Amazon to be approved, then depending on where you are in your Amazon business, you could apply and get immediately approved if you've had that 6 months of experience, or apply and get denied and be told that you need to have this type of paperwork or permission from the brand itself or other options for you. So the first thing, always apply every single time. In fact, I've said this so many times and people still don't follow through with this. Every single time you find a product restriction, you're not allowed to sell it. Always apply. You might get auto approved. Again, sometimes people just need 6 months of seller experience. Sometimes Amazon and the brand work out and it's like, okay, you have to have at least this many feedback scores, or you need to have this type of feedback percentage, or you need to have this type of percentage of customer service rating. There's all sorts of different type of parameters, and unfortunately there's no way for us to know what those parameters are, so we just always apply. We always apply. And the longer you sell on Amazon, the more you're going to get auto approvals, automatically approved to sell the item. Okay, so if that doesn't work, you're still not done with this step. Set a alarm, a reminder, something on your phone, on your computer, on the calendar, on the wall to reapply. Because guess what? We always think we're going to remember to reapply, but if we're not reminded that we need to reapply, and there is a page in your Seller Central login to reapply to previous applications for approval that have been denied. So I go in every 3 months and reapply to every single thing that I've been denied for before. And sometimes they open up and sometimes they don't. And so you just continue on that process every 3 months. So always apply, and then always every 3 months check up and reapply again if you have not been approved. All right, well, what do you do if that doesn't work? Well, when you are not approved to sell the item, Amazon either tells you they're not accepting applications. There's nothing we can do about that. But if they say You can apply as long as you upload an invoice with X number of purchased items that you purchased directly from the brand, or a letter from the brand allowing you to sell their product, or any other number of list of things that you need to do. Sometimes you have to go through and take a little mini course on how to understand how to sell that brand or sell that category of item. Um, and you go through that little mini course, take a little pop quiz that they give you at the end, and if you pass it, you get approved. There's so many different paths to approval, so we want to make sure we go down all of them. And this is worth it. Yes, it takes time to go through these steps, but it is worth it to get approved to sell items, because guess what? There most of our competition out there, if I'm being real, they're lazy. They don't want to go through it. They're the ones who sell on Amazon for a short amount of time and then quit because Amazon's not working. No, they're just being too lazy. So if you get approved to sell more items on Amazon, you're going to be a hard worker and you're going to fight for that approval. You're going to do whatever you can. Maybe you can purchase directly from the brand, and it's not that you're like going to target.com and purchasing a particular brand and have a target.com receipt with 10 items that you purchase. That's not going to get you approval most of the time. You need to like go straight to the actual brand, maybe the brand's website, and you can purchase from there, or maybe a direct with a wholesale brand with that brand, or a wholesale relationship with that brand. Or maybe you have contacts with a distributor and can buy that brand via a distributor. There's different aspects that you can do where you can get the paper that Amazon needs to approve you. Obviously, the best one is getting a wholesale relationship directly with the brand. That's going to get you approved easy peasy, lemon squeezy, mac and cheesy. So do what you can to get approved. So always apply, always set a reminder to reapply, and then follow through with Amazon's suggestions of the next step. You might be thinking, there's no way I'm going to be able to get approved. Well, try. You might be surprised if you're able to reach out to a brand. Yeah, there might be a lot of brands that say no. There might be a lot of brands that ghost you and don't ever reply at all. But there's going to be some that will allow you to sell their item on Amazon. Now, listen, this is another huge important step before we get to roadblock number 2. This next step is basically if you have heard of the brand before you started selling on Amazon. It is a name brand that everyone and their dog knows the brand name. Most likely those brands are going to be too big. They're going to be too big. They're not going to even reply to your request to an email trying to set up a wholesale relationship with that brand. It's just not going to be worth it. But here's the cool thing. Those brands, they're really not going to be very profitable for you, because even if you got a wholesale relationship with that brand, the types of minimums that those big name brands require, they they are way out of our price range when it comes to investing in those brands. When you though find a brand of an item that's selling on Amazon that's making a profit, a brand you've never heard of before, most likely they will be a lot more open and willing to let you sell their items online or on Amazon. Now, it's not guaranteed, but they will be more open and willing, a lot more. Like, so if you're like, I'm trying to get ungated for Lego, or I'm trying to get Hamilton Bay kitchen accessories, or I'm trying, all these different types of things that you've heard of before, the brands that you've heard of are probably going to be untouchable, but that's not really where the money is anyway. Unless you have a store, a big, huge brick and mortar store, then you might get approved to sell those items at your brick and mortar store, and maybe online too. But that's what you can do. So there is a time period where if you've been selling on Amazon for at least 6 months, not open your Amazon account, but actually have inventory selling on Amazon for 6 months, then at that point, there are so many brands that start opening up to you as a third-party seller to be allowed to sell those items. I don't know if on like Amazon lets the brand decide what they want their parameters to be to allow third-party sellers to sell their items. And I don't know if there's a suggestion that Amazon gives everyone, and then they have to go and change it. But I think 6 months is like the suggested one, the suggested time period, because 6 months is like when you get to 6 months of selling on Amazon, and hear this, if you've been selling on Amazon for 5.5 months and you're thinking of quitting or whatever, do not throw in the towel. It's about to get a lot easier. So the 6 month window, you can start selling so many more items on Amazon. Do they all open up? No, but a vast majority of them do. So keep pressing on to do this. Wait for that 6 month period. Many of them will start to open up. When you pass the 9 month period, more will open up. When you pass the 12 month, more will start to open up. And the longer you sell on Amazon, you get good feedback scores, you have good seller metrics, but then it's good. The more brands and items ASINs are going to open up to you. So that's how you get that roadblock and turn it into a speed bump, because you're following that process. Always apply, always reapply, and always go through the steps that Amazon suggests in order to get approved. That's what you're going to do. That's going to help you find more stuff. And our lazy competition is not going to make it in this Amazon world. Our Amazon, our lazy competition competitors, they're going to be in the game for a very short time and then quit. Because, like I said, Amazon doesn't work. But those of you who do the hard work and follow through with these steps are going to have more items to sell on Amazon. So that is roadblock number one. We're going to get to roadblock number two right now. So roadblock number two is something that I hear a lot, and that is this. I like the idea of selling on Amazon. I just don't know when I will have the time. I don't have enough time. I know I need time to find inventory. I need time to go to retail stores. I need time to source online. I need time to reprice my inventory. I need time to ship my stuff to Amazon. I need time. I have time to do this, to do that. I don't know where I'm going to have the time. So here is my answer. First off, if you have a full-time job, I totally get it. There is not a lot of time available. You have to start getting creative, and even sacrificially creative, to find the time it takes to actually, if you want your Amazon business to grow and start paying you and basically help you make more money than your full-time job, so you can quit your full-time job and work for yourself full-time, that is a process that takes time. I mean, that's something we can help you with. We help people go full-time and make that transition from a full-time job to full-time income with Amazon. But if you are saying you don't have enough time, but you're still spending about 2 hours a day scrolling your phone, or spending multiple hours a day watching TV and movies, or if you're spending, whatever your hobby is, whatever your opportunity to turn your brain off and just scroll through devices and things like that. I think we all have no idea how much we really spend on our devices. I mean, if you have an iPhone, and I don't know if Android does this or whatever, like it records your screen time and it tells you how long you spend on an average day or a week on this app or that app, or just on your phone at all. How many times do you pick up your phone? It counts all of that, and it's pretty scary if you've never looked at that before, but you can get so much of your time back if you just stop scrolling, watching stuff on TV. Now, I totally get it. We still need to have time to relax, to disassociate with the real world for a little bit by watching a comedy show or a mystery on TV, and scrolling through our phone and checking up with our friends and our favorite you know people online who entertain us. And so I totally understand that we still need that time, maybe for most of us, but maybe we just don't need as much as we do. So we can be creative with our time in order to find time to work on our Amazon business. If you have a part-time job, you really have no excuse. I mean, yes, if you have a part-time job and you've got a bunch of kids at home, then again, just get creative with your time. If you don't have a job at all and you're trying to have Amazon be your full-time income, then you should have plenty of time to put in your Amazon business. I mean, it is possible. We've been able to accomplish this. We've helped our coaching students and our followers accomplish this to make a full-time income with only part-time hours. Now, it doesn't just start off that way and you're making a full-time income and you're not spending full-time hours, but you can work yourself to that. Almost every type of aspect of our Amazon business um, can be outsourced, and yours can be too. And so you're able to still make money selling on Amazon and still pay the people who are helping you make money. Maybe you hire a leads list to give you product leads to sell on Amazon. Well, it should be that you're making more profits from that list than the list costs you. Maybe you have someone who preps and ship your inventory for you. Maybe they come into your house. Maybe you have a prep center nearby you that you have your OA type of inventory shipped to them and they process it. There are lots of ways you can outsource aspects. And we coach people and help people in how to outsource things in their Amazon business. Bottom line is this, and this is something I learned when I was really young. You make the time for things that are important to you. And so if making a full-time income selling on Amazon is important to you, you are going to make the time. If you don't make the time, then it's not that important to you. And so really think about it. Is the financial freedom of tomorrow important to you? On day one, when we talked about our dreams, the debt we want to pay off, the trips we want to take, the things we want to purchase, the people we want to help with our income, is that more important to you than an hour-long TV show or scrolling on your phone for just a minute that turns into 100 minutes? What is most important to you is how you're going to spend your time. What you love the most is what you're going to spend the time with most. In fact, I remember someone telling me, how do you spell the word love? Time. And so if you love the the entertainment of TV, you're going to spend most of your time there. If you love a person, you're going to spend most of your time with them. And if you love the idea of financial freedom, love the idea of being able to travel, then sticking with that and having the patience for that and working towards that will help you actually achieve that. So that's roadblock number 2. I don't have enough time and how to get around it. I'm going to drink a little bit of water and then we're going to get into roadblock number 3. All right. Roadblock number
You need to
3.
bring you more water.
Actually, yes, I'm
Okay,
getting
I'll bring
low.
you more.
So thank you. Thank you very much. I love that woman. So roadblock number 3. And then we got an announcement, we got a reminder, we got some money saving information for you, and some good money making information that we want to share with you. So be sure you stick around for this. Roadblock number 3, how to turn this roadblock into a little meaningless speed bump. So roadblock number 3 is this. There is just so much information out there. There's so much information about different types of money making opportunities, different types of money making plans, um, gurus out there, coaches, people giving you ideas. Like, it's not uncommon for an Amazon seller to be like, yeah, last year I tried this idea and it didn't work. And then the year before that, I tried this idea and it didn't work. There's just so many different things to choose from. How do you know what to choose? How do you know what to stick with? I mean, that might be you. And then once you understand exactly what you want to do, say selling on Amazon, you're like, well, there's this guru and there's this guru and there's this teacher and then there's this course and there's this podcast and there's this blog and there's this. I mean, there's so much to focus on. And so, yes, I the whole feeling of FOMO, the fear of missing out, man, that I mean, it's funny. The act of the feeling of FOMO, feeling like you're gonna miss out on something that's really important. So you have to follow everyone. You have to take every course. You have to do all of these things. it's actually not going to cause you to miss out. That's your fear. I fear I'm going to miss out on something. What you're actually going to miss out on is the result that you're searching for, the answer that you're looking for, the success that you are striving for, the financial freedom that you're working towards, because you're just like a ping pong ball bouncing off the wall, and that's not how you play ping pong. You it doesn't go, you don't bounce ping pong off the wall, but that's what it is like if you try and follow everybody, follow everything. So one of the things that you can do, go through your email and unsubscribe to all but just a few people that are teaching you or showing you how to do things. Um, maybe follow on social media only a few people. Try it, test it out. Those other people and those other systems, they'll be there waiting for you if you come back. But if you commit to, I mean, if you commit to just one person and one style, how do you think that's going to help you with your results? Well, I mean, I think it's going to be a whole lot better. You're actually going to get the results that they promise if you commit to that one person and that one strategy, rather than committing to 35 different people and 107 different strategies. I had a coaching call with one of my clients a couple months ago, and they were like, they basically said, "Remind me what you were talking about when you talked about um this $17 strategy. Like what was that?" And I'm like, I don't know. What do you mean the 17? Well, the $17 strategy where if you I'm trying to remember, I mean, it's that $17 strategy that you talked about. And I'm like, I no, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. And then the person was like, "Oh, I actually it wasn't you that was teaching that." And I'm like, okay, we're not in like a committed relationship, obviously. But if they have, well, I mean, maybe we are, and not like a love relationship, but a coach student relationship. If they have committed to follow my teachings, follow my suggestions, get my advice, but they're still listening to someone else giving other advice, and maybe it contradicts, or maybe it is just, doesn't go along, doesn't align with what I'm teaching and trying to focus on and trying to help you. Here is how you overcome just having too much information. Narrow it down. Narrow it down to one person or a few people. Narrow it down to one course or a few courses or one coaching program. Narrow down to just one thing. Amazon FBA, full-time FBA coaching program, Stephen Smotherman. Narrow down to that, because I'm only saying that obviously because I'm Stephen Smotherman and I run the full-time FBA coaching program. And so if you commit to that, you're going to find more success than if you try to follow everything. There's an old proverb, I can't remember who came up with this, but the proverb is the man who chases two rabbits catches neither one of them. So if you are trying to chase a rabbit, I mean, even just chasing a rabbit, one rabbit alone is going to be a struggle. But if you try to chase two rabbits, you're not going to catch either one of them. So if you are looking for that financial freedom, that future aspect of being able to have a full-time income and only working part-time hours, I invite you to join the Full-Time FBA coaching program. You can check it out, fulltimefba.com/coaching. I do want to remind you of a few coupon codes. We've got some coupon codes for fast action bonus takers. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the coupon codes a lot easier than if I just try to say it. So um, my computer is trying to paste from my son's computer, and so it took a second. All right. So, Rebecca, can you see the PowerPoint? It says screen sharing failed. Let's try this again. All right. Well, I am going to try to. All right, we'll do it this way. All right. So the screen sharing, for some reason, it's not working. So Rebecca's going to put in the chat the coupon codes for our full-time FBA coaching program, because you have an opportunity to save hundreds our coaching program is not a super low price. It is affordable. It is a no-brainer price for the kind of results that you can expect to get. And so I just want to invite you. Oh, here we go. To join our full-time FBA coaching program. We have a few coupon codes that can save you 10% off if you do the payment plan, or 15% off if you do our payment full plan. Rebecca, do you see this on your screen?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. So there's the coupon code 15 off OCT24, saves you 15% off our coaching program. We're going to get to questions very soon, so be sure to ask those questions in the chat or in the Q&A, or share a roadblock that you are currently experiencing and we can kind of help you with. We'd love to hear that. But these are the coupon codes. Take a screenshot if you can't enroll right now. But these coupon codes expire midnight tomorrow night. So midnight Central tomorrow night, these coupon codes expire. So we want to reward action takers. So if you're like, all right, Stephen, I'm in. I'm in. This is for me. Well, this is going to save you hundreds of dollars off of our coaching program. It is a 12-month long coaching program. We also have a 6-month long option for you. And because our goal is to get you making that full-time income in 12 months. It's a better price at the 12-month plan. But if you're like, you know what, I only have time to do 6 months, then sign up for the 6-month program. You're welcome to subscribe again, re-up with coaching for another 6 months if you want to continue through that process. But here are the different options for you and the coupon codes. But we also have some bonuses for you. In fact, announcing we've added a new bonus today. We were going to talk about it last night, and we decided that we don't have we don't have it set up just yet, so we're going to wait till tomorrow. So I'm glad you're here today, so that you can take advantage of the other bonuses that we have. So full-time FBA coaching program. Um, I'm on the wrong slide. All right. So most of you know, if you're here all 5 days for the Q4 workshop, then you get entered into a drawing that we're going to do tomorrow night for this starter pack. Well, if you pay in full for the full-time FBA coaching program, you also get this starter kit. So a 16-inch impulse sealer, you get a dymo printer with 2 rolls of dymo labels. You also get 400 poly bags, 4 different size poly bags, 100 of each size with suffocation warning labels on them already. You get this as a bonus if you enroll in the if you decide to do the pay in full option. So that is a bonus for you. We also have a special bonus that we are only offering for this particular launch right here, a 30-minute one-on-one strategy call with just you and me on a call for 30 minutes. This expires October 29th at midnight that night. So Tuesday evening, Central Time, midnight, 30-minute one-on-one strategy call with you and me. We can talk about whatever you need. You can ask whatever questions you have. We can walk through and find out which strategy should you focus on first, which strategy should you focus on second, how to overcome roadblocks, like what should your strategy be if you only have this much to spend? What should your strategy be if you only have this amount of time to work on your business? We can have this kind of strategy call, just you and me, for 30 minutes. And you get this as a bonus if you sign up for our coaching program before midnight Tuesday night. And here's our new bonus. We have a master class, how to have a 6-figure Q4. It's Q4 right now. It's still possible to have a 6-figure Q4 right now. So you get this as a bonus. It is a master class. You get this if you sign up. No coupon code needed for the 30-minute call with me or this masterclass, Q4 masterclass, how to have a 6-figure Q4. This masterclass will walk you through the steps to take, the choices to make, what your goals should be what your exercises and your activities need to be to have a six-figure Q4. You know what? And if you don't make it this Q4, you're definitely going to make it next Q4, a six-figure Q4. In fact, it's possible to have a six-figure month with the stuff that we teach you in this course, this masterclass here. So that's a special launch bonus that you have access to until midnight Tuesday night. So be sure to take action, fulltimefba.com/coaching. So one last time, just so you have it on your screen, Rebecca's going to put it in the chat to make so you can always just kind of scroll up and double check to get the coupon codes. But 15% off paid in full coupon code and a 10% coupon code for those of you who need to use the payment plan. Again, a 6-month option. We have a 12-month option. Our courses, we have courses that are included in our coaching program. If you sign up for our 6-month coaching program, you get 3 courses. If you sign up for our 12-month program, you get those 3 courses plus an additional 2. So there's a lot of different options to help you grow your Amazon business to make that full-time income, and it's very possible. So I'm going to take this screen share off, and we are going to jump into whatever kind of questions that you might have, so that we can grow our Amazon businesses together.
Yeah, before we get into the questions, I put the link for the coaching page in the chat, and I also put the link for Connect calls, and that's fulltimefba.com/connect. And that is if you have any questions about what all is involved in the coaching program, if you're needing some more specifics on whether or not you are a good fit for the program and what you can expect to get out of it, you can get on a quick call with Stephen, about 10 minutes, to just chat with him about the program and what it involves. And that's separate from the bonus strategy call that he was talking about. That's a longer call where you get into the details of your actual business and how you're going to move forward in the coaching from there. But if you do have any type of questions about the coaching program, it's a really good idea to reach out to Stephen that way, and you can talk with him, fulltimefba.com/connect. Okay, so we've got some questions that are coming in. We're prioritizing questions today about the roadblocks that you're facing and about the coaching program. So the first question is from Alicia, and I'm going to answer this one instead of handing it to Stephen because I was doing some double checking on her question as you were talking. Stephen, I think you're still muted. So Alicia's asked, can you share where you reapply for selling applications? Stephen was talking about this earlier, and she asked, is it under catalog, view selling applications, and then click on the go to application button? And so I went and did exactly what she said, and yes, that is it. So in Seller Central, you will find a menu at the top left, and catalog. On mine, it's the very first option on the left is catalog. And then, so if you click on catalog, it's going to bring up a menu, and then view selling applications is an option there. And then when you click on that, it brings up all of your selling applications, and it shows the ones that are in draft form, which means you have started that application. And then you can click go to application button to show where you are in the progress of that. And so that will then show you whether you need to just click to get auto approved or whether you need to submit any type of documents. So that is it exactly, Alicia.
Yeah, and I go back, like I said, every 3 months to reapply. And every single time I do, I get approved for a handful of the ones that I've applied to before and didn't get approval before. And it's making you start to wonder if there are certain brands or products that are out there that will not accept anybody the first time they ask, but they will accept another one who is asking a second time a certain amount of time later. It just, I don't know. I don't have any other than experience of having that happen to me. Because I'm like, I've been selling on Amazon for over a decade. I am really sure that there's not a brand that says you can sell my stuff on Amazon if you've been selling it on a decade and 6 months. But we're not going to let you do it if you're selling over a decade. Like, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
maybe that is something that is, but I have no idea.
And there's times, I mean, I don't know if this still happens like in Facebook groups and whatnot, that people will announce like they're doing auto approvals or auto gate ungating in certain categories or whatever. Does that still happen? I know that used to happen quite regularly. And then you'd go and you check all your applications and you just click, 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 and all of a sudden you're auto approved for all these things that were so hard to get in before. And I mean, whether or not that happens that way, where it's everything, I know there are times when I just go back and recheck, and for whatever reason, it suddenly ungates me.
Yeah,
And I mean, some of them you just really can't figure out what the criteria was that changed. So it just go back and reapply. And that's the only advice that, you can really give.
yeah.
Okay. So Lisa is asking, can you put up the slide with the coupons for the coaching program again so that she can screenshot it? And then while
I'll think about it and then I'll do it.
maybe.
So
Yeah,
there it is, right
there
there.
that is.
Yes.
Do we want to just leave that up while we're talking?
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Okay. Sam is asking, which wholesale distributor would you recommend us to buy 10 units from to get ungated in certain categories?
So I would first go directly to the name brand that you're wanting to get approved of. If the name brand is, I don't know, I'm just gonna if the name brand was Plush Toys, there's no brand called that, but I would just go to plushtoys.com, um, and whatever the name brand that you're looking into, um, find out, see if they have a contact form and send them a message like, I would like to sell your items online. Can you please contact me with the person I need to talk with? And go just do that. If you see brand names that again you've never heard of before, or you're in the store and you see something, you can do a quick Google search, find the website, reach out and ask for a wholesale account. And if they don't give you a wholesale account, ask them, do you work with any distributors who I might be able to get a wholesale account with? And go through that process next. And so that would be what I would do, and what I teach our coaching students to do as well.
Yeah, follow-up question from Sam. If you do get approved for an item under a certain category, do all other brands for that category become ungated?
No, if you get approved for, like if you get approved to sell Mattel toys, that does not mean that other toy brands also become approved for you. It's just the Mattel toy brands in the toy category that you get approved for. You have to, get approved for. I mean, there might be other. I like if you were never approved at all to sell in the toy category, then that might open up other toys that don't require special approval, but you do not get automatic approval, uh, or even if you submit the right paperwork for a particular brand, does not automatically approve you for other brands in that category.
Okay, a couple of coaching questions, and then we'll get to some of the more general FBA questions. Again, keep leaving your questions in the Q&A box and in the chat, and we'll prioritize them that way. So do you teach how to use any of these OA tools that we've mentioned in the coaching?
So there's some tools that are online arbitrage tools that we have, um, like walkthroughs and videos to show you how to use it. There are other tools that we do not have. Most of the tools we do not have trainings for. They have trainings that the tool itself has already created and are good enough to be followed and learned from. And so if there's a specific tool that you want to learn about, most likely it either already has really good training, or we can show and walk you through a few things on how to use it.
So I would say that I'm not sure which tools are being referred to here, but Keepa, we do go in the coaching program. There are courses that come with the coaching program. So you've got two components of that. You know, you've got your courses where you've got the pre-recorded content that you're going through on your own, and then you can ask follow-up questions in the group coaching. Stephen also does every week, well, every 2 weeks, when they do the coaching calls, he will have a teaching time, and sometimes that teaching will be on things related to Keepa or whatever. And so Keepa, in the 12-month coaching program, Keepa is included in that. The Keepa, how to, I almost said how to keep a camel. It hasn't been called that in years. The Reseller's Guide to Keepa is included in that. And then also that we have the Reseller's Guide to Online Arbitrage, and that's included in the 12-month. I don't remember offhand which courses are in the 6-month program. I know it's the Jumpstart Amazon, and I want to say Keepa's in it also.
Right, and I believe the pricing course.
And pricing. Okay. So if you get the 12-month coaching program, you're going to get the guide to Keepa and the guide to online arbitrage in general. And in that course, I go in depth about how to do online arbitrage. And I talk a lot about how to do manual searches, just so you get that foundation of like what is actually involved in online arbitrage, and then kind of go into, I personally use tactical arbitrage a lot. I do also do manual searches, but how to use tactical arbitrage isn't necessarily covered in that course because they have a really good training of their own. But I do talk about using tactical arbitrage in the online arbitrage course.
Yep.
So that's the answer to whether we cover those tools in the coaching program. Yes, in those courses. And then of course, like during the coaching sessions, you can bring your questions and go over it there.
Yeah, like one week for our coaching program, I did a huge walkthrough using the OA tool Rev Seller, and ways to use it and ways to understand it, ways that you need to set it up correctly, things like that. And that's another cool thing about our coaching program. You have like almost 2 years of back access of previous coaching calls, where you can go through, look at the titles and see like, okay, this is one that I wish I would have learned a year ago when he taught this, and you can have access to those videos as well.
Yeah, that's it. That's really good. You've been categorizing those, cataloging, that's the word I'm looking for. Cataloging those are available to you in the group coaching program. But you'll have access to all of those past videos, and he's got them cataloged with like the topics that were covered so that you can go back and look and see if there's something that you're interested in, and knowing more. You can watch that in addition to asking questions in the upcoming sessions.
Yep.
We've also had some questions about like the cost of the program, and it is a big investment as far as money. I know that when you're in a business that involves buying inventory, you're always asking this question of like, should I spend my money on coaching or education, or should I spend it on inventory? Should I spend it on tools that will help me to outsource some of those tasks? It's a lot, but I will say that viewing it as an investment is really the most accurate way to view any type of online education or coaching when it comes to growing your business. It is an investment that you're putting money and time into that you're going to get back exponentially.
Absolutely.
That you are going to get back in shortening that learning curve of things that you don't even know you don't know right now. And you're going to get it back in having somebody who has that decade plus of experience, who can help you with those problems that you might be facing right now, those roadblocks we've been talking about, who can help you get your business set up and running so that you're able to actually get into buying inventory that sells and is profitable much faster than you would have if you were trying to go it alone. And so It is an investment. We understand that. And that's why there are different packages that we offer, 6 month versus 12 month. People are at different places as far as what they're able to commit to or what they are wanting to commit to right now. I will say that we have really found with our coaching clients and just our experience over the past 10 years, also, we've got a decade of experience in selling on Amazon. We've also got a decade of experience with our website, blog, YouTube, podcast, all of that together. And we've seen that it takes a year to get somebody going so that they can get to a full-time income if they're committed and putting in that work. Now, does everybody who spends a year at selling on Amazon get to a full-time income? No, but you can do it within a year. Stephen did it within a year.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and other people are doing it as well. And so we really feel like if you make that investment, you make that commitment to being in a program for an extended amount of time, it shows that level of commitment and that you are serious about building your business, because this is a business. A lot of people approach it as a hobby, but it's a business, and you want it to pay you a full-time income, then you need to treat it like a legitimate business.
Yeah, if you treat your business like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. And if you
Yes.
treat your business like a hobby, it's going to cost you like a hobby.
Yep. Okay, a couple of general FBA questions. This is last call for questions in the chat and in the Q&A. And we'll go from there. But I've got a couple of questions here about general selling. Do you need a reseller certificate if you're purchasing wholesale items online?
Yes, you do. The the brand that you are buying from needs to have a copy of your wholesale license or certificate so that they can sell you items and not charge you sales tax. And so if you are purchasing from directly from a brand or even a distributor, you need to have a wholesale license or certificate. And those are very easy to get. You can just go to Google, type in your state, and type in sales tax certificate and follow through with the whatever links come up, and you can go and request them. And you should be able to have one within 2 weeks.
Yeah, some states call it different things, sales tax certificate, tax exempt certificate, reseller certificate. It can go by a lot of different names, but
Right.
they're all basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Now I've got the cough going. Last question, how do you know what the different sales ranks mean in the different categories?
Okay, so one of the things, if you are subscribed to the full-time FBA blog, once a month we send out an updated chart to kind of give you an idea of what the sales ranks mean, what the numbers mean in relation to the category. So I have the chart where it's set up every main Amazon category on one side, and then the mathematic whole equation to break it down. What is the 1% of that number? What is the 5% of that number? And basically it has the total number of items in each of these categories, and it does the math. So just looking at this, I can see that in the books category, the top 1%, which is the best of the best, usually items that are selling in the top 1% could be selling it multiple times a day, or at least multiple times a week. In the books category, the top 1% is 938,000. So any sales rank below 938,000 is probably going to be an item that sells very quickly and very often. On the other hand, in the toy category, that same sales rank, 938,000, would be above the top 10%. Now, I like to buy things to sell on Amazon that are in the top 1%. Most categories I'll expand to the top 3%. And every once in a while, maybe during Q4, I'll expand to the top 5%. But anything above 5%, no way. I am not going to buy an item to sell on Amazon that is above the top 5% of its specific category, because it's just not selling fast enough. Yes, I take a look at a keeper graph to make sure what's the average sales rank over time. And put it with this chart. If you are not on the Full-Time FBA newsletter, just go to fulltimefba.com. You'll get the newsletter, you'll get a couple other freebies, and once a month I'll send out my updated sales ring chart to give you an idea. It's not something that you would use as you grow your business, but it's a good starting point to kind of get an idea of how to understand which sales rank numbers and how they interact with their particular category that they are in. Because yeah, a good sales rank in the office category might be not so good in the home and kitchen category. Actually, I said that backwards. Home and kitchen category, the number might be really good, but really bad in office category. Anyway, if you go to fulltimefba.com/sales rank, I kind of give you a little bit of a little run through of how to understand that and the link to sign up for the sales rank charts to be delivered to your inbox on a monthly basis. So there you go.
All right, that is all that we have for the questions.
All right.
So
So I do want to remind you tomorrow night is going to be day 5 of this 5-day Q4 Accelerator workshop. We are going to be talking about your path to a full-time income. How can you even make it possible? What is the steps to do? How do you grow your Amazon business so that you're making a full-time income? We're going to talk about that tomorrow, and we're going to get into that. I also want to announce that we have had so much fun with you during this workshop. We are expanding the 5-day workshop, and we're going to have another session Saturday night. We're going to have a Saturday night session. We're going to have a Monday night session, and we're going to have a Tuesday night session. So we're going to go till Tuesday night. No, we are not going to expand beyond Tuesday night, but we are going to.
that's
Uh,
getting too close to Halloween.
yeah, that's true. And so if you're curious about what we're going to talk about, we've got a really good plan for you and some good stuff that's going to continue to help you in your Amazon business. So again, tomorrow, how to predictably grow your income to a full-time income. Saturday, we're going to have a kind of an interactive day where we have let me see. We're gonna have basically it's like a co-working session for Saturday night. We've got something we're going to work through together. So we're actually going to give you a little bit of a sample of kind of what our coaching calls are like. We have a co-working session where we're going to walk through certain action steps to take, and we're actually going to follow through and take the steps on the call Saturday night. So we're going to do that. Sunday, we're taking the day off. We're going to have a day of rest, a day of Sabbath. Monday night, we're going to have a panel of other coaching clients. You can ask your questions about the coaching program with actual full-time FBA coaching students. We're going to have a few of them here on the calls with us on Monday night. And then Tuesday night, we're going to just finish things off. Whatever questions you still have remaining, we will answer those questions. So we just don't want to leave any question unanswered. So we will answer any other questions you have about selling on Amazon, solving your problems, Keepa, overcoming roadblocks, replans, the coaching program. It's all on the table. So we will send you the links. We'll send you everything you need. But thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.